Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Bontrager Aeolus Elite 35V disc wheel set. When it comes to carbon fiber wheel sets, there are a lot of brands and models to choose from, which can be quite confusing as a consumer. Bontrager is looking to simplify that with their Aeolus Elite wheel set lineup. These are much more affordable than the Pro variations, have a little bit of a weight penalty, but give you the same carbon fiber construction with the lifetime warranty that goes with it. As you can see, packaging wise, really simple. We have the 35V variation, and you can see they're really designed to be either road or gravel. A lot of modern features. I'll go ahead and pop these out of the box. You can see Bontrager's done a great job with this. Each wheel is in its own box and very minimal amount of packaging with just a little cardboard holding everything together so they don't have a bunch of extra plastic or other materials. So in terms of specs, the front wheel is $479 while the rear wheel is $519. They're construction from OCLV carbon fiber, so it's a little bit heavier than the Pro counterpart, but still has the lifetime carbon fiber warranty, as well as a 2-year crash or damage replacement for the original owner. They're tubeless ready, and you can see you have the rim tape pre-applied and the valves pre-installed, so you're ready to go right out of the box. And they have the Rapid Drive 108 hub. So you can see nice loud sound with about 3 degrees of engagement. So really quick and a big departure from your traditional 20-degree or even higher engagement from previous hub setups. It's fully serviceable as well, bladed spokes, and you can see they have a J design with alloy locking nipples. These have an 80 PSI max, and again, tubeless ready with a hooked design. You can see we have both the front and the rear, and each of them just have some basic information. The weight on this is 1660, so not the lightest on the market, but a pretty good option given the about $1,000 price point for the pair. They also include the sealant as well. So inside the box you get 2 sealants, so you can set up each tire and you're essentially ready to ride. Now let's take a look at the weight of the wheels. So we have a little jerry-rigged scale here, a little box so I can actually weigh it. So you can see here the front wheel comes in at 819 grams. And then if we pull this off and put the rear wheel on there, this is with the Shimano cassette that comes in there from the factory. So you can see once it balances, it's about 964 grams. So a little bit heavier than the claimed weight because it does have the valves and then the tubeless tape installed. Now let's take a look at the fit and finish of the wheel set. Again, this is the Elite version, so a little bit heavier than the Pro version, but almost half the price. So the combined set is under $1,000, which is pretty impressive given the fact that it's full carbon fiber with a lifetime warranty. As far as the rim profile, here's a nice illustration of it. So as you can see, it has a 25mm inner width, which is really wide, so that accommodates gravel tires and your wider road wheel sets. 32mm on the outer side, and then 35mm deep. So it gives you nice aero benefits without being overly heavy. You can see the profile from the side. Definitely a wide wheel set. And you can see the tubeless setup is already ready to go from the factory. You have the valve pre-installed and the rim tape pre-installed. You can also remove that if you want to go to a standard setup. The coolest part about this though is obviously the hub. So this is a Rapid 108. So really fast engagement, about 3 degrees. So you can see barely rotating, ready to go. This is a through axle setup with a disc wheel center lock design. So you can see the disc wheel will just go on here. It's not a bolt-on design. So a nice modern setup. It's 100mm hub width on the front and I believe 142 on the rear, which is compatible with most bikes on the market these days. They're a bladed spoke setup, and you can see very simple design with this cross stitching pattern that you see with a lot of wheel sets. They're pretty simple as far as branding too. You just have this ghosted on branding that looks good, as well as the 35V on here. Now let's take a look at the setup of the wheel set with a set of tires. We paired these with the Bontrager Aeolus RSL TLR tires, which are one of Bontrager's top tires. So much more of an aggressive road cycling tire, but you could definitely pair this wheel set with more gravel setups as you have a wide 25mm inner width. We went with a 700 by 30 tire here, and you can see with this tire it has a 320 TPI cotton casing, so super soft. You barely have to use a tire lever and you can just push it on with your palm. So really nice setup, very easy to get the beads to line up, and with the 35mm depth, it's a great combination for road cycling or everything between. It's not super aero, which would make it harder to ride in crosswinds, but it's still deep enough that you get a little bit of aero benefit and still can do climbing. And with the pre-installed tubeless tape and the valves, you really don't have to do much. You just set the tires on there, then you can remove the valve core and do this initial bead matching. So here we have a toe peak Joe Blow, so we're using the high pressure mode on this 2-stage setup, and you can see the beads pop into place almost instantaneously. We use a little bit soapy water to help it in place, but otherwise you can see nicely set up. Here's a nice shot of it on our Trek Emonda ALR. So a beautiful wheel set. It's all black, so pretty subtle, and the branding on here is really kind of ghosted on with those stickers, so you barely notice them in certain lighting. And with the RSL TLR tires and that tan color, you get that nice pop of color to make them really stand out. You have 24 spokes on the front and rear, so it gives a nice lightweight appearance. And even though these aren't the lightest wheels on the market, they felt great climbing or on flatter, longer rides. They have nice responsiveness too, so they accelerate pretty well and they hold their speed. Obviously, they're not super exciting. They're kind of an in-between wheel set, so nice acceleration, nice speed handling, but it won't blow you away in any specific category. Instead, it's kind of a great in-between for everything. So kind of a jack of all trades. You can definitely use this on-road or off-road. And overall, really impressed with it. It's a nice upgrade from cheaper wheel sets that typically come with bikes. And you get the full carbon with the lifetime warranty for the original owner and that 2-year crash replacement, which is really impressive at this price point. The most impressive part of these wheels, though, is the hub on the rear. That rapid drive makes it engage instantaneously, so it's really impressive, especially compared to older wheel sets that might have 9 degrees or 20 degrees that really kind of hit. So when you start pedaling, they usually just kind of slam into place when you first want to engage. With this one, it's entirely seamless. At 3-degree engagement, you can simply start pedaling and stop pedaling, and you won't lose any watts in between. So really nice setup and a great perk, especially at this lower price point. It would have been nice to get the wheel bags or other accessories, but obviously at $1,000, you can't really complain. And overall, a really solid wheel set that's a great upgrade, a great everyday use setup that you don't have to worry about. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Bontrager Aeolus Elite wheel set. What we like about it is you have a very budget-friendly price point. At $1,000, it's a great price for a full carbon wheel set, and you also get a lot of the modern amenities. You get a nice lifetime warranty with this for the original owner, as well as a 2-year crash replacement, which means you can really enjoy them on or off the road and not have to worry about anything going wrong. It also has that wide inner width, which gives you a really smooth ride as you can run the wider, more modern, larger tires. The main negative with the wheel set is the fact that you do get no spokes and there is no wheel bag included. That's not really surprising at this price point, but would have been a nice feature to have. Taking everything into account, would give the wheel set a 9.4 out of 10. Nice modern specs at a great price point, which makes it a nice upgrade or replacement for an existing wheel set. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.